Just like any other industry, the fire service has a culture. And so how do you go about learning that culture, transitioning into that culture, the culture of the fire service?
Well, I'm sure it's different from each of our departments. I'm from Orange County, as I mentioned earlier. However, I hadn't lived in Orange County for a while, so I lived in San Diego. And so I've been there now for about 15 years, and all my learning as far as the fire service came from San Diego. That is the people that I started to get to know. That is the culture I started to learn. And so that was something super special to me, and the people that helped me get on, I built those ties, and that was super special to me, along with the city itself. And I mean, you guys being from there, you guys know a little bit about that, but I fell in love with that. And so that connection was everything to me and why I wanted to be there. You know, I felt like I had created a home. I built a bond with a bunch of my mentors, a bunch of people that I'm gonna be working with. That's something unique to me.
Okay. For me, like for my district, I just remember going into a gym one day, an old training center that I used to coach at. I went in there, went into an office, asked the owner, hey, can I come train into this facility? I want to become a firefighter. I need to go through EMT school, fire academy. And he was like, of course, you come in here anytime. And a man was sitting right next to me. He was our chief for Rancho. And he handed me his card and he said, hey, come into my office. I'll sit down with you and I'll teach you what you need to do to become a firefighter. And I literally went to his office the next day. He sat me down, showed me the academies I should attend to. These are the good ones. I need to get my EMT license. You need to do some fire technology classes as well. And from that day forward, I realized that like if a chief is willing to come and bring me into his office, sit me down, talk to me and teach me in the pathway of becoming a firefighter, I need to work for this man. And then on top of that, there was multiple firefighters from my district that came and approached me or talked to me, had phone calls with me, mock interviews, and wanted to help me out through the process too. Not just for Rancho, but for anywhere that may come into my path. And so I went through the process, and here I am today with them. And for that culture is just people first, community first, family first kind of thing, having that integrity as well. I really thrive in that. And so that's a big thing through the recruiting process that people go through in interviews as well, just to see if you're going to mesh with the people that you're probably going to live 30 years with for the rest of your life until you retire.
And so even if you don't have a fire service background and maybe, you know, you don't fit, how do you go about navigating that? How do you get that information? And it's beautiful to be able to sit down with the chief and you weren't even trying, you were there and all, it just happened.
I didn't even know what a chief was in the beginning, to be honest. That was like the big thing. I was so new, so green. That was like, I couldn't tell you the difference between a chief or a captain or a battalion chief, deputy chief. It was so new to me. So I had no idea what was really happening in that moment, like how of a big shot he was too. I was like, now thinking back on it, I'm like, maybe I should like tighten it up a little bit and not been so lax, but it was meant to happen the way it did.
Yeah, I feel like if you really want to do something in life, you would push yourself and basically put yourself in the mix. So that's why I tell people all the time, like, if you want to become a firefighter, come talk to me, come to the station. Just ring the doorbell, we'll answer. We're there 24/7. Someone's gonna help you. I feel like in the fire service, all of us are the same as far as we help the community, but we also want to help each other. We want to help each other accomplish their goals to become a firefighter. And I feel like when you show up, like that's just your in. You're in the mix with everyone at the station. That's how you learn how to become a firefighter, and someone's gonna help you. I mean, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink the water, right? So it's like, if I want to be a firefighter, I'm going to go straight to the station. I'm going to ask someone who's actually doing it right now and ask, how do I become a firefighter? Because that's what I did. I showed up to a station, and luckily I had friends in the fire service. They're like, don't come empty-handed. And I was like, all right. So like, what do I bring? Donuts? I'm like, or a snack or something. So I brought donuts and, came to the station, said, hey, I want to become a firefighter. And they accepted my offerings, which was donuts. Yeah, we'll take donuts and coffee. 100%. But it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like you just, if you really want to do something, you would get yourself involved. And if you really want to do something in life, you got to put your mind to it and you got to get yourself out there. I don't think I've ever heard or any firefighter turn down anybody.
Yeah, 100%. And just to piggyback off of that, whenever a young individual expresses the fact that they want to become a firefighter, I tell them, hey, here's my name and number. This is what station I work at. These are the days I work there. I have one requirement from you, and I'll lay it out for you. I say, just go get your EMT. Come by the station. Like I did the same thing. I went to the stations. I wanted to touch the equipment. You know, I hadn't touched wood ladders before, thrown a wood ladder before. What's a breathing apparatus? Oh, can I try that? Put on the helmet. Feel what the turnout coat feels like. Learn how to throw a BA. You can't practice anywhere else. Go to where the equipment is at. Go to where the individuals, the firefighters are actually at, so they could talk to you, have that one-on-one conversation with you. Bring a pen and notepad. Take notes, you know, and actually follow through. But it's all up to that individual. You know, you have to be hungry.
Yeah.
It's not an easy career to obtain.
Right.
So
That first step is the hard step. It's very uncomfortable, not knowing, or taking a step like these guys did into a station for the first time, not knowing as well. But like I always say, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and going into those situations to make yourself better and get to your goals and your end goal, basically.
That's right.
Yeah, like crazy story. The station I work at right now was the station I did a ride along at.
Oh,
Like my buddy that I played football with, he was a firefighter at the time at Station 16 on the east side in San Jose. And when I flew up there to do a ride along, I did a ride along with Engine 16, and there's a truck there as well, Truck 16. So I did my ride along there, and you know they'll tell this. You tell these guys now that when I walked in, they were like, "Oh, it's one of those guys that just come in." Like, and you know, people always come to the station. You just don't know it's gonna be full circle if they're gonna make it back. So you know, I was very determined, and I worked hard at it. And when I got hired with San Jose, on your probation year, you kind of roam the battalions. You get placed at different stations around the whole city, get to know the whole city more. Then after your probation year, you could bid a station. And happened when I got probation, Station 16 opened up as a firefighter, the EMT firefighter. So I bid it right away, and I was able to work at Station 16. I've been there ever since, the past 3 years. So it was a full circle. I remember walking in that station, and I just had a blue shirt on and pants, and I was like, I want to be a firefighter. And they were like, yeah, okay, I'll show you, kid. And then, you know, show me the tools and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Now I'm checking that equipment every day, the same equipment I saw years ago. So it's definitely with the dedication and hard work of wanting to become a firefighter and being able to talk to the people at the station, because I literally talked to them like, how do I do what you guys are doing? I want to do what you're doing. And now I'm actually doing it 4 years from now, I guess, yeah.